Hi, this is John Petrucci, and I'm here to talk about practicing to a metronome to develop your technique. In this case, we're talking about KORG metronomes. So one of the reasons that I use a metronome to practice is because when I was growing up, I listened to guitar players that had a lot of power and clarity in their style. That would be Steve Morse, for example, Al Di Meola, for another example. And I found that the way to develop power and clarity is to get a really good balance between your left hand and right hand techniques so that they work together. First thing you have to remember and you have to keep in mind is that we're going to be picking alternately. That means down, up, down, up, down, up. There's never going to be a repeated stroke. The second thing is that in order to get the separation between the notes, you really have to work on muting with your right hand and with your left hand as you're playing, because the things I'm about to show you are based largely on chord shapes, and if you don't mute the strings that you're not playing, then it's just going to sound like you're playing a chord, which isn't what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more of an arpeggio effect. So we'll start with this, and I use this as a warm-up exercise still to this day. It's really, really simple, and we can do some variations on it, but in its first form, it involves all four fingers, which is really good, helps you warm up, and it gets this alternate picking thing going. So all we're going to do is play, we'll do this in the fifth position, just play one note on the E string with your first finger, on the A string with your second, on the D string with your third, and the G string with your fourth. And you're going to be playing down, up, down, up. Now if you take that pattern back down without repeating a note, you're going to have a triplet feel. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right, let's try that to the metronome. All right, now you should also practice that between the other string groups. So you might go between the A string and the B string, same finger shape, and between the D string and the E. Another thing you can also do as a variation is you can reverse this shape I have here. So it'd be like you're making an X. So you can start, instead of starting on the first finger, start on the pinky and do the same pattern. All right, let's try that with the metronome as triplets. All right, you could also try combinations. You can sit there all day and make up different permutations and combinations. The idea is we're trying to get this triplet feel to the metronome as solid as you can and playing an alternate picking pattern. That's the first exercise. All right, now for the intermediate version of this exercise. The left hand isn't really going to get too complicated. Once again, we're just using these sort of, it's like a chromatic spacing of the notes, but they're spread across four strings. But it's the right hand that becomes a little bit more intricate. Once again, always doing the alternate picking. And the thing that's going to make this intermediate is that we're going to be not just staying in one grouping of strings, but we're going to be going across the strings this way and then also moving up the fretboard and using different combinations of starting from the first finger and then also starting from the pinky. So here it is slowly in its basic form. By the way, we're breaking away from the triplet feel. This is now a 16th note feel or an 8th note feel, so it's more of an even. All right, so there's the exercise, and you can continue to take that up and down as far as you want. Now let's try it to the metronome so you can hear the way it places. In this case, remember, you're going to be playing 4 notes for each metronome click. All right, so now for the advanced application. Remember, this is all stemming from taking one note per string and picking down, up, the whole time. The type of technique we're going to do is we're going to use a triplet pattern to the metronome. We're going to be playing one note per string, and we're going to be starting on the high E string and going down to the low E string and back, as opposed to the opposite way. All right, first of all, you need to know the arpeggio shape. So here's the A minor one. Here's the G sharp major. C major. Notice with that too, when there are notes that are on the same fret, I'm sort of rolling my finger, because you don't want those strings to ring out. E minor is a bit of a stretch here. Then G major. E7. No, you have a bit of a stretch here as well. You got to watch for. And back to A minor. All right, so let's hear what this sounds like with all these chords in a row played to the metronome as triplets. There you have it.